Today we are talking about
Benjamin Moore's
Color
of the Year 2021.
I will admit sometimes I'm ahead of the curve with color and sometimes I'm a little behind the curve with Color of the Year.
Oddly enough, Jamie and I, without consulting each other, came up with the same color.
If I were to predict this year's Color of the Year, I would choose
Harbor Fog.
Northern Air.
اللي يناسب لهالسنة هيكون لون نسيم المحيط.
The Atlantic Ocean behind me.
Coventry Gray.
OC22 Calm.
We both think that it's going to be a pale, optimistic yellow.
Yellow. I think the color of the year should be green.
Citrus.
Beige, pastel, brown, sand.
This is my prediction. It's called Bewitched and I am loving these deep red tones.
It's a soft and soothing shade of blue.
1676.
أول ما نطلع من البيت نشوف اللون السما لون البحر اللي هو اللون الأزرق لون النسيم الحلو.
It's a sort of apple green color.
Something that's bright and clear as if the sun is just starting to shine through the clouds.
If you think about it, it's really the perfect antidote to the trials of this past year.
It's a bright, hopeful blue.
It symbolizes nature and harmony.
因为绿色代表着清新、希望、生命、安全。
How amazing this is. People need something to give positive energy.
That I know will bring in 2021.
And of course, blue is the world's favorite color.
And I'm hoping that I'm right. Can't wait to find out.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first ever virtual Color of the Year announcement. My name is Andrea Magno, and I am joined today with my colleague, Hannah Yo. And we are streaming live today from the Benjamin Moore headquarters in Montvale, New Jersey. And we also have Sharon Greck with us, who's coming to us live from Toronto.
Andrea, Sharon, and I are here on behalf of the full color marketing and the development team. And we are so excited to be connecting with you at home all around the world. We are so thankful that everyone's joining us today. And especially thank you for those who have shared the prediction with us, whether it's through the video or on social media.
Yes, it was wonderful to see so much engagement online and really fun to see all those predictions from around the globe. Now, I didn't see every single one, I admit, so I may have missed a perfect guess. So I'm curious if anyone at home actually did, because I did see lots of beautiful greens and blues as guesses. Now, before we get into some of the questions that are coming in, let's roll with some of the beautiful imagery that really brings the Color Trends 2021 palette to life. So, Andrea, to get us started, can you tell us more about Aegean Teal?
Absolutely. Aegean teal is an exceptionally balanced color. It has this really beautiful blend of blue and green, and it has a touch of gray to it that makes it have this softened, casual elegance that's really, really very inviting. And we felt very strongly this year about having a mid-tone as our color of the year. And Aegean teal really hit the right note. You know, we found that it was a hidden gem in our collections. And we fell in love with it for its complexity, its depth, and even its versatility, in that you can use it in so many different ways in the home.
And it looks beautiful behind you there, Andrea. Now, I know that we don't always land immediately on the exact color of the year. Typically, as we're going through it, we have to finesse the actual color once we nail down our color story and once we nail down the hue. So, Hannah, maybe you can share this question. How did you know Aegean Teal was the one for 2021?
Yeah, we actually went through multiple iterations of this type of hues. You know, we explored deep greens all the way to, you know, very muted gray teals and everything in between. And we kept coming back to this particular shade. And to me, it was that really having the quality of being balanced. You know, it's rich in color. It has a certain amount of saturation that we know it's going to appeal for the people who typically love color. But the gray undertone and the earthy quality that this color has makes it so much usable in a home environment. And I think it's really going to appeal for the people who typically shy away from some of those darker colors.
No, that's true. It's very flexible. Now, I know this isn't going to be the first time you guys have been asked this, because I am asked often. Can we share some insight into the actual process for developing Benjamin Moore's color trend palette? So how do we make the selections?
Yes, and that is absolutely one of the most common questions that we get. And we started the process in late 2019. So I'd say it was about December. Our whole team came together and we brought different ideas, images, concepts. We had traveled to a couple of shows in Europe and in North America. So we were able to bring those influences together. And through our conversations, what we were really drawn to was the organic quality of certain colors and this very softened kind of, you know, thinking about vegetable dyes and just really grounded and rooted kind of colors. And then from that conversation, I think we moved to talking a lot about how that sensibility relates to the home. And that's where a really amazing conversation about the kitchen came about. And we talked a lot about how the kitchen serves as a place of nourishment. You know, it's cultivating relationships, it's community, it's craft. It's all of those sentiments coming together. And, you know, the colors that we were seeing really reflected that beautifully.
And there's a project that I kind of took upon myself when we were having that conversation, you know, because I think what sparked the idea was the fact that we were talking about our travels, whether domestically or abroad at the time, how we all kind of like enjoyed walking into a farmer's market and seeing all those beautiful, delicious colors and be like, I just want to take a lot of them home. And one day, so I did decide to take them home and kind of seeing what the colors could look like. It wasn't a project that I knew what the outcome would be. It was more so that let's see what happens. Let's see what the colors could look like. And when I did that color study, I think it kind of gave us a good jumping off point of what this palette can look like for this year. The other thing that, you know, we always have in our back of our minds is that we know color trends doesn't end when the year ends. We know it's an evolution, it's a continuation. So it was important for us to continue the story of that color trends conversation that we had in 2020, which was about this new concept of the home with the dawn of the new decade. Now, for this year, let's go inside the home. What makes it a home? And, you know, we said it a few times that flexibility in the space is so important, especially today, where, you know, kitchen as it serves as a nourishment craft, but it's also from a tactical point of view, it's very multifunctional. It's a place where you cook, it's where you entertain. It's where your kids do your homework. It's where you do your work. It's, you know, it serves so many different functions throughout the day. And also looking at a couple other research about home renovations, where are people renovating the most? And kitchen definitely rose to the top. So taking a step back and looking at, you know, the story that we wanted to continue from Color Trends 2020 and looking inside the home. And where is it? Is it the kitchen, which made sense for all the reasons that we just talked about? And also the research that, you know, talked about organic quality, the natural materials. And all in all, it just kind of made sense to kind of start there and see how those colors could radiate throughout the house.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. The home has certainly taken on more jobs this year. And 2020 has been really a year of unexpected change, to say the least. And there does remain some uncertainty ahead. So I imagine many people are wondering if any of that factored into our selection for the color of the year and Color Trends 2021. So Andrea, maybe you can elaborate on that one.
Absolutely. The palette and the color of the year were selected in January. So it was really before everything started to unfold this year. But we were really pretty fortunate in a funny way that the story really resonated, all things considered. And it was the emotional connection, I think, that rose to the top. And it was thinking about these small, simple moments that happen within the home and being able to use that for color inspiration. So like you saw in the video, you know, going through a day and being able to pull out these little moments of color, and even just thinking about, you know, things that we do now that maybe we hadn't done previously that bring us more color ideas. And the other piece too is that people are looking to bring color into their home. And I'm the most guilty of it. I love my neutrals, but we're looking to bring these moments of color, whether it's in a big way or a small way. And we feel like the colors that we were seeing with that organic nature really felt right for the year to come.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good segue, Andrea, because we've been talking a lot about the actual color of the year, but we've also curated this broader palette for 2021. So let's share a little bit more about the full Color Trends 2021 palette.
Right. For this year, we have 12 colors in total, including the color of the year. And every single one of those colors have this sun-baked quality to it, which naturally leads to a warmer side on the color scale. And every one of them is very versatile. It has that warm ambience to it and some of that organic quality too. And with that, we also looked at a lot of midtones because of that lived-in feel and has some casual elegance to those colors. And it also has that grounded sensibility to it, which also makes it very useful. And we sprinkled in a couple of the lights and dark to kind of round up the palette.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a warmer quality to the overall palette, and I really love seeing that. I think we've been seeing that sort of creep into our homes and our spaces for you know, quite a few years now. I really love that the overall 12 colors have a really nice synergy about them with that organic quality to them. So let's talk about the impact that we see these colors having in 2021 for all those reasons.
Yeah, I mean, we see these colors as being very livable. They're very approachable. You know, they're the kinds of colors that people can feel very comfortable bringing into their homes, you know, whether it's a paler color, whether it's a deeper color. And as we work on the palette each year, it's funny, we start out with an array of colors and we fall in love with it and we think it's great. And then we come back the next day or next week and say, well, wait a minute, nope, we have to finesse it some more. So it's really an iterative kind of process that we're constantly working through our collections to curate these colors that capture the right sensibility. And of course, they're all good paint colors. I think
Yes.
that's a really important thing, that we always look at everything through that filter. And I think that this year, with the warmth in a lot of the colors, and then we have the deeper colors in the pales, I think Aegean teal really stands as this nice bridge between both sides of the color wheel, which I really love. It kind of brings everything together, and the overall palette feels very harmonious.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that balance is the right word with the Aegean teal, especially. It's probably the coolest color in the palette, but it still has that beautiful warmth to it. Now, I'm sure I speak for pretty much everyone who's watching, and for my colleagues as well, in that our homes have really become a lot more than just where we live. Your home has become an office. I know mine has become an office. It's also become a classroom. Sometimes it's a gym. Well, maybe not as much as it should be. And today it's even a studio. So it's just so multifunctional, as you were saying earlier, Hannah. So how do the color trends for 2021 fit into all of that as it relates to design?
Right. It's no secret that the color has a good impact on the space and could influence and enhance the design of the space. And the versatility of it really speaks to the fact that we can, make it that much flexible. The colors, the space themselves are flexible as well as a color, right? And the fact that color really does have that strong connection to our emotion. We're drawn to certain colors because they make us feel good. They make us feel comfortable and relaxing. And I think a lot of the colors that we have in our palette could really help to achieve that look. It creates a warm ambience that plays to the senses. And to your point, Sharon, about your space being a workspace during the day and family gathering during the evening and a home gym on the weekend, it really adds texture to your daily routine. And it really, I think it enhances everything and lets you celebrate those small moments. And hopefully, we make those little small moments that we often take for granted and now make it more memorable.
Yeah. We're actually seeing more questions come in about the best ways to use this color in the home. And I think this is a good segue. So do you ladies have any recommendations for our viewers for areas where you can use Aegean teal, or maybe where you shouldn't use Aegean teal?
Yeah, I mean, as we said, it's an extremely versatile color, but for me, one of my favorite places to use it is on millwork and cabinetry. I think it makes for an unbelievable cabinet color, just because we've seen a lot of people go with the deep blues or greens, and this almost is a happy medium kind of, and it's a little bit unexpected. So I absolutely love that. As a home office, it would be fantastic, or a living room, bedroom. So it's not the kind of color that I think would only be appropriate in a certain room, which is really, I think, really speaks to why we chose it and it being such a great color.
Yeah, agreed. On that note, can you speak a little bit about how light may affect Aegean teal? For example, would you recommend a particular sheen to use with it? I know you mentioned cabinets, so that could make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a blend of blue, green, and even gray to a certain point, I think it could do a lot with it. You can have fun with the lighting. I personally love kind of seeing the different iterations of that color throughout the day. Maybe in the morning with it looks a little bit cooler, but toward the afternoon with warmer sunlight, it becomes a little bit more greener. I think there's a lot that you can play around with, or you could just simply do a matte. I mean, I personally love a matte finish. And, depending on what, again, your lighting is, whether it's natural light or a little bit warmer light. I know in my home, I have ridiculously warm light that makes this color really warm, surprisingly. And or you can put it on daylight, maybe it would have that cooler cast. So there's multiple ways that you can have fun with this color.
Yeah, I think light is just it's such a important part of color in general. So it's really wonderful to see how it changes throughout the day regardless. So I love that too. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have right now. So in short, Color Trends 2021 palette, we've talked about it quite a bit, and the color of the year for 2021. They really invite us to reflect and reset as we nourish our spirits with simple everyday moments. And as we all navigate a new normal in various areas of our lives, we invite all of you to embrace and explore color and really to create spaces that enrich your life.
And thank you all so much for joining us today for our announcement. It was great to have so many people here with us virtually. And we hope that you'll all share in the announcement by using the hashtag ColorTrends2021. And again, all of us at Benjamin Moore hope for continued health and safety in the years to come.